didn't have it looping. Well, I'd like to loop. All I am I? All I am. Let me check the mic and make sure that my sound isn't distorted like it was yesterday, last night, when I covered this topic, Bayh-Dole, the Bayh-Dole Act. It's an act. Rand Paul, I hope it's not an act. Huh? Because we may be moving the ball out of PCAST corner and giving it to you. Huh? We are about, who is we? Me, myself, and I. Huh? Let me do this mic check. PCAST, is that you? Anybody from PCAST? A demand for transparency. And let me tell you how good God is. Why would the algorithm change into an event such as Dr. Crystal Waters, Dr. Crystal Cascata? I could talk about this. This is news media coverage. It's public. If her husband gets upset with me, he needs to come on through the community and come talk to me. Because I'm definitely not finna be quiet now. Really? Dr. Cascata, maybe it's an artificial intelligence research and development scam just to see what I would do and what I would say, huh? Because it sure popped up in my algorithm and I wasn't looking for it. As soon as the Bayh-Dole Act, I finished with that, and this supposedly happened way earlier in the day with Dr. Cascata. Am I saying it right? Is it a Cascata or Caseta? Not only did the algorithm try to say, I don't know who doing it and what they thought, but then they gonna bring up Susan Smith. Huh? And what that's supposed to mean? Huh? Was that supposed to be some type of back down tactic for the truth or something? Transparent like a mother. Randall Paul. Is it Randall? No, you don't have AL on your name. Dr. Rand? Huh? You may want to come talk to me. Huh? Because I want to see if I could get a grant or something so that I could be representation for Dr. Cassetta. Somebody want to help me with that? I want to be representation for Dr. Cassetta. Her name already has murder on it, and they haven't even done an investigation. Within 24 hours, they got the media. That's called subliminal bias. That's called subliminal bias. Potentially laying her to rest without even an investigation. So then on her tomb, there has the terminology murder, and she didn't even get some voice to speak for her from beyond the grave, huh? From beyond the grave, or wherever it is that she's hovering right now, huh? To make sure that that algorithm came through and I was able to see it, unless it's worldwide news. I would have rather have been in Susan Smith's position. Sometimes when I look back at my life and realize all the people that looked in my face and let the lie just hover for all 30 years, 30 years, saw me struggling, jumping through hoops, coming up with all kinds of scenes and scenarios and stuff, telling the truth and researching and development until I could get the truth from whoever the truth was supposed to come from. Now, this lady here, what did she suffer from postpartum depression? Is that anywhere on the records? Hurry up, go dig it real quick. Because her husband and them could create something in no time. I'm talking about it could possibly be a scenario like that. Great minds, the people that she walked with, people who know how to cover up crime scenes and all that. She did it just like that. She's a murderer. No. That's not fair. Because when you look at all the governments and entities that invested in her, all the money that went into her research and development through COVID and what you call it? Cancer. COVID and cancer. Dr. Paul, is this just an act? I found out more about the connections to the doctors that did the research in my case, even down to probably how far beyond they began the research. I looked up CHI. I said, I keep mentioning a lot of places, but I don't mention CHI. And boy, now my mind go back. It's a whole whirlwind of looking at that image of Dr. Brode, not Dr. Colonel Brode, Brody, Hartley. I got to be careful because I think his son's somewhere roaming around in the conscious community. But to look at his image on the and the whole time that image there, I thought he was a white man because it's in bronze, like it's bronze. But the whole fact of the matter is he's a colonel, and he was the one head honcho for the research and development connections through CHI. And the first doctor to prescribe me lithium, I wasn't on no case. There wasn't no case load. There wasn't no nothing. My son and I would go to CHI. And when I would go, they had little programs for women who went through situations like me in the hospital with your, child, those traumatic type of situations, groups. And I would go there for the groups just to keep me encouraged while I was tending to my son, staying up to date with CPR classes. This is after he got out of the hospital. CPR classes and knowing how to tend to his G-tube. There was a blind, a blind person that worked the canteen there. They got a blind services there too. And they offered services to see therapists and all that just to help get you. And then one day I decided I would, sign up to talk to one of the doctors because wasn't getting any sleep, and I was feeling guilty. That all my milk came up, that I sat there and stood there and watched them pump all the milk up out of my son's lung. And he started breathing, but it was like my milk. I overfed him. I don't, but that week he had his first vaccine shot too. I never thought about all that. My mama them was looking into all that stuff, lawsuits and litigations and all that. And that the doctor first decision to do with me telling him, I feel guilty sometimes. But my plans for the future was still hopeful, because I had just graduated and had my CNA certification and everything. I was hopeful because the therapist would before they left the hospital, we left out the hospital. He said that one of the therapists said that my son wouldn't be able to talk and even move a certain way. They just had it all laid out for him, and in my mind, it's like, hell no, that's not true. So I was working physical therapy, getting him to learn how to suck the bottle and everything, huh? Even though I was feeding him through the G tube, huh? The things that the doctors already had said wasn't going to happen was already happening. And I would have to pass through CHI and other programs. After the doctor gave me the lithium, he said, I'm putting you on lithium for 7 days. And then he said, because I was dealing with depression. And then he said he would put me on Prozac for another couple of, however long. And it just went downhill from there. When I felt like things wasn't right, the way the medication was doing me, I start calling out for help. I let him know. I went immediately to I went to my father, my stepfather, and told him. I tried to tell my first boyfriend. He was so busy trying to get some. He fought me that whole night to try to get some, instead of listening to what I was saying to him about the medication and how it was making me feel. And he was so mad by the time he taken me to my dad, he didn't said whatever he needed to say. And I said, no, Daddy, that's not what it is. That's not what I said. And so my daddy took me himself to the doctor, to CHI, to tell them they needed to change the medication or something. Oh, no. And when the doctor finished talking to me, he wrote and changed the prescription, which I never even got a chance to take the prescription. He put me on some sleeping pills. He gave me some sleeping, order for some sleeping pills. And I guess wrote for me to come back in a couple of weeks or something, whatever my next appointment was. Now, there was things going on at home that I just wasn't aware of, because I had my own thing going on. This is transparency. And I'm going to stop right there. I never hurt or did any of those things that is on my files to my son. Never. Now, in this case of transparency that's going on, I see I'm still at zero. I see I'm still at zero. I know I'm being shadow banned, huh? I know I'm being shadow banned, but that's okay. Now, in this case with Dr. Cassetta, she don't even get a chance. And since I'm out here spewing transparency, 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 you mean to tell me they'll come up with a scenario like that? Because Google AI paid her off too. If you go and do the research, she got money, all kind of different research and development for her patents. 5 patents. Ain't they knocking people off for patents? But I ain't concerned about the cancer and all that other stuff and the COVID and all that other stuff. That don't even concern me about the transparent part. The transparent part is y'all just gonna accept that scene right there without an investigation, huh? I mean, to the comb, like all the way down to the lice on the floor investigation and transparency. Because her research and development was directly connected to COVID and cancer. Even all the way up on the prevention of cancer. What do you mean the prevention? You mean you have a patent of something that could prevent cancer? You mean you have a patent for something that could prevent cancer? And then in the research and development on this end right here, Dr. Rand Paul, don't play. PCAS, stop playing. Dr. Sandra Bowman, come on with it. Huh? CHI, come on with it. Miami-Dade Police Department, bring the files. Dig it up, Miami Children's Hospital. Huh? It's time to put it all on the table. Because I don't know what algorithm y'all thought was going to make me be quiet if y'all put her up there doing that scene right there and then bringing out Susan Smith's story too. Because Susan Smith's story was way after I got out and was trying to get my name clear, and she popped up. Lollipop was the one that was going on around my time. You put it all on the table. That algorithm right there was whack. Greater light. The Bayh-Dole Act is an act. Is it? Oh, no. Okay, rewind this. Replay it. Forward it. Please get this message to Rand Paul. Everyone, please get this message, because PCAS ain't paying me no attention. They didn't even respond to my email yet. Rand Paul looked like he on it. Let's get it, y'all.